Okay, I've already started these notes, so we need to get you caught up. We are doing 3.3, Interpreting the Unit Rate as Slope, which is pages 71 to 76 in your book. Your essential question is, how do you interpret the unit rate as slope? Pause the video if you need to. We have one vocabulary word, unit rate. And that is a rate in which the second quantity in the comparison is 1 unit. For example, we could say that in 6 hours we had received 12 inches of rain. What you want is for this second quantity to be equal to 1. And this one's going to reduce very nicely so that we are averaging 2 inches of rain in 1 hour. This would be a unit rate. 2 inches of rain in 1 hour. The second quantity is 1 unit. There is an example, an activity on page 71 of your book that talks about a storm raging on a mountain, and it gives you a graph, and I'm going to sketch this graph for you. We have time on our x-axis, and that is measured in hours, and we have rainfall. Of course the book says snowfall, but I'm going to make it rainfall in inches. And what we can do with a graph like this in order to find our unit rate is we need to work on our slope. We need to work on our rise over our run. What I can do here is take this point right here, which is 2 hours, 4 inches of rain, and then I have another point right here that would be 3 hours, 6 inches of rain, and I can figure my rise over my run. And to make this simple, I'm going to do the large number minus the small number. My rise is how far up I go. That's the rise. So that would be 6 minus 4. And my run would be my x's, so 3 minus 2. So I have 2 over 1. That's 2 inches of rain or snow to 1 hour of time. So my rate of change, or my slope, is 2 over 1. And you could do this with different points on this line, and you should find that it's going to be constant. It'll be the same. And that's where we start getting our unit rate, where we want our denominator to be a 1. Let's start example 2 here. And we're told that in every 3 seconds, 4 cubic feet of water pass over a dam. Okay, there's our information. Now we need to A, draw a graph, and B, find the unit rate. So we will have to remember every 3 seconds, 4 cubic feet of water pass over the dam. So let's turn the page and make a graph. And again, I'm going to put time here, and I'm going to put water. This is in cubic feet, and our time again was in seconds. And what we were originally told was that in 3 seconds, 4 cubic feet passed over the dam. So if I do another 3 seconds, I need another 4 feet over the dam. So there's my graph utilizing that information. Now, we could have also started this with a table. Let me show how that's going to connect. We want time over volume of water, and remember that was in cubic feet. So in 3 seconds we know we get 4 feet of water. Well, if I do another 3 seconds, then I have another 4 feet of water, 4 cubic feet of water. And I can do this for several entries. And what you should notice about all of these, 6/8, 9/12, 12/16, 15/20, they all reduce down to the 3/4 from our table. Now if I wanted to find my slope, which is what we're working with rate of change, remember that's the rise over the run. So for instance, I would maybe want to do 12 minus 4, and then 9 minus 3, and 12 minus 4 is 8, 9 minus 3 is 6. So I have a slope of 4/3 when I reduce it, because I want to rise over run. And that's where it comes from. So I found my graph, and I've also found my slope, but I want my unit rate. And really and truly, unit rate 4/3 is not a unit rate. But this won't reduce any closer to a 1, so we will accept that as a unit rate. For every 3 seconds, that being our 1 unit of time, we get 4 cubic feet of water over the dam. Example 3. We're going to use slopes to compare unit rates on example 3. If we're given an equation such as y equals 2.75x, that represents our rate in barrels per hour. The oil is pumped from well A. This one is on page 73 if you want to refer to it. I can use my equation to build a table. This would be my time again. We're going to keep time on the x-axis. And this is my barrels of oil. So in 1 hour, I would have 2.75 barrels, because if I put 1 in for x, 2.75 times 1 is 2.75. In 2 hours, I will have 5.5 barrels of oil. In 3 hours, I could do this, and one way to do this would be to use your calculator. From here, we could go and build a graph, because we have our x and our y values. And we could also find our slope at this point. Remember, the slope is rise over run, and that's the change in y over the change in x. So I could do which would get me 2.75 over 1. I could have used any of those to figure that out. But there's my slope, there is my unit rate, which is right there in my equation. And wherever you take 2 points, this should be the slope that you come up with. Okay, at this point it is time now to do our quick check. And for your quick check today, your ticket into class tomorrow, you are going to go to page 72 of your book, and you have a question at the bottom of the page called Your Turn, and it's number 2, as well as page 73, Your Turn, number 4. You can answer those here on your notes or on the back of another page.